Dvandvatitam gaganashatrisham tattvamasyarilaksham ekam nityam vimalamachalam savadi sakshibhutam bhavatitam trigunarahitam satguruntam namami. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. So, welcome back again. So, those who just joined, let's enter into the outline of today's session. Next slide. So, I will do a quick run through of what is Nithya Kriya for people who are joining for the first time. Then I will talk about migraine headaches. Okay, what is migraine headaches? What are the symptoms? And also the types of migraines based on the medical terminology. It means what the medical modern medicine is defining migraines. Okay. Then we enter into the Shastra Pramana for Nithya Kriya. Then we enter into the instruction for how to do this Kriya. Okay. Then we have a short sharing at the end. Next slide. So understand Nithya Kriya is a gift from a living incarnation, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, fondly known as Swamiji. He is our Guru. He developed the 108 powerful Nithya Kriyas to basically help humanity to get out of a lot of common disorders or diseases. And today, the Kriya for migraine is one of the 108. So Nithya Kriya is actually a unique set of healing processes with knowledge and techniques drawn from the most authentic sacred yogic scriptures of Hinduism, with specific combination compiled, expressed through the personal experience of His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, which means Swamiji literally, for each of the Kriya, he tested on his own body. He played with it in the own body. And then he see how this different breathing technique and different asana works on healing the body, okay, or healing the disorder. So fundamentally, Nithya Kriya is basically soundly anchored in the sacred yogic scripture like Patanjali Yoga Sutras, Hatha Yoga Pradipika, Virendra Samhita, and Shiva Samhita. So he drew so many references from all the yogic scriptures, which have been done by the past master, the work from past yogis, enlightened master. So, and he basically reorganized some of the scriptures and formed different prayers based on the body of humanity that we have now, because many of these techniques were given 1,000 years ago. So that's the reason why when an incarnation of an enlightened being descend on planet Earth, there is always going to be updation, right? Updation of based on the consciousness at the present moment, that means the modern era that we're living, and also the kind of body that we're having, because the body now is very different from 5,000 years ago, right? During Krishna's time. So it's very important that enlightened master continue to give us the latest, which is tailored for our time, for our body, our consciousness. Okay, next slide. So here are the 5 components of Nithya Kriya. 1, it has to do with a lot of breathing, breath technique. So a lot of pranayama are taken from the Kumbhaka Patati, even the Yoga Sutras, Hatha Pika Hatha Yoga Pradipika. Then the next thing is visualization. Some of the technique require you to visualize. As you know that visualization is a very powerful way to connect with a higher dimension of you. And then also the body is put into certain asanas because each asana reflects certain consciousness or certain body movement. Like it could be a karana. Some kriyas uses karana, the traditional dance of Nataraja. So karana or asana. So here depends on the kriya. Then you also added sound. Sound works on the more subtle elements, space. So the sound can be coming from inside, like a mantra, which is given to chant, or it can be sound from outside. Okay. So these are the 5 components. So essentially, the healing achieved by Nithya Kriyas is permanent because it works on the cellular biomemory level. And it generates natural steroids. And therefore, it has no side effects, only good healing effect. Besides the healing, the Nithya Kriyas have a powerful permanent effect on your brain function because the Kriya itself awakens your Kundalini Shakti. When Kundalini Shakti or inner potential energies gets awakened, the energy is pumped into the entire system, including the brain, and it awakens the non-mechanical parts of the brain. Okay, so and your brain goes through certain rewiring, certain parts get awakened, new synapses get connected. So it awakens many possibilities in us, not only just healing. Okay, so these are the 5 components of Nithya Kriya, which is very unique to Swamiji. Okay, next slide. So now, in the second part of the outline, let's understand a little bit more about migraine. Some of you may have experienced some headache here and there. Like, some of them have headache during before the menstrual period. Some people have headache when they're stressed. Some people have headache when they they go through certain life changes. So whatever may be the headaches or migraine, let's understand a little bit more about this disorder, this neurological disorder, so that we can be much more informed to handle it or address it. Okay, so it says a migraine is much more than a bad headache. See, a bad headache, sometimes you just lie and rest or just pop a Panadol. You think that's solved the problem. But a migraine is more than that because it is a neurological disease that can cause debilitating throbbing pain. It means the pain is coming from the head, is like throbbing, like a pounding pain, right? And that can leave you in bed for days. You can't even function. You can't get out of bed because the pain is so severe that literally you have to stop what you're doing in the outer world. Okay. So movement, light, sound, and other triggers may cause symptoms like pain, tiredness, nausea, visual disturbances, not able to see things or see light, like too much light, numbness, tingling sensation in your fingers, irritability, difficulty in speaking. That means slurring, right? You're not able to even pronounce properly, and temporary loss of vision. Sometimes they can't see things clearly because of the vision is affected, because it's all connected to the brain, and all the 5 sense organs are very much related, and also many, many more. So there's so many symptoms related to this migraine that can trigger so many issues. So here it says there are over 150 types of headaches. I didn't know there's so many types of headaches. I thought maybe like 2 types, less than 10, but 150 types. I'm just like, wow, how they classify 150 types of headache. But anyway, that's fun. The source is from this Cleveland clinic. So they have done enough diagnosis to be able to label at least 150 types of headaches. Okay, and divided into 2 major categories. Okay, so interestingly, there's one primary headaches, and secondary headaches. So what are the difference? See whether you belong to the primary or the secondary, whether you're in the primary school or secondary school, okay? So a migraine is a primary headache, meaning that it isn't caused by a different medical condition. So the primary headache disorder are clinical diagnosis, meaning that there is no blood test or imaging study to diagnose it. That means it's like, it's not caused by a different medical condition, okay? It's just headache, okay? A secondary headache is a symptom of another health issue. Like for instance, you have a brain tumor, and the brain tumor is growing. Of course, when it's growing, some headache will come, right? So that is because there is another health issue, not because of the headache. The headache is caused by some other triggers, which is another health issue. Or some people has cancer, and because they've been taking some cancer medication, and that medication, one of the side effect will cause migraine or headache. Because you will be vomiting, you will be nausea, you're feeling nausea. So all these are called a secondary headache, okay? Which is not caused by any other things, but there's a health issue. So the primary means you just have headache, migraine. Okay, understand the difference now? Give me a thumbs up. Okay, yeah. So now let's look at the next slide. Let's learn a bit more about migraine. Okay, so I realized that there is this thing called an aura. I thought spiritual is aura, like wow, I see someone's light. No, this medical term is a different definition. So let's understand what is an aura. You say an aura is a group of sensory, motor, and speech symptoms that usually act as a warning signal that a migraine headache is about to begin. It's like warning sign, okay? But it's all related to the sensory, motor, or speech related, okay? So commonly known as, commonly misinterpreted as a seizure or stroke. It typically happens before the headache pain, but can sometimes appear during, even after the headache or the migraine is triggered. So an aura can last from 10 minutes to 60 minutes, an hour, okay? So which means before the whole headache hits you, something happened before that, okay? So about 15 to 20% of people who experience migraines have auras. It means like a warning sign before the headache comes. So aura symptoms are, good thing is reversible, meaning that they can be stopped, healed. So an aura produces symptoms that may include something like this, like seeing bright flashes or dots, sparkles, ting, ting, ting in the vision, okay? Or blind spot in the vision, like you look at it, like there's some dark spot, like something is covering in the retina or something like that, okay? There's some numb, tingling sensation in the skin, on the skin, okay? Speech changes, you're not able to speak properly. You can't articulate properly. Then ring in the ear, tinnitus, right? Tinnitus. You hear in the ears, like some bees living in your eardrum. So like creating constant ringing sound in your ears, okay? And then temporary vision loss. You can't see things. Suddenly you lost vision, like something is completely blackout, okay? And also seeing wavy or jagged lines, like you let's say you look at this cupboard is not straight, like some kind of, the definition of the image is jagged or curved. That means the ability to capture the image is distorted, okay? Changes in smell or taste. Like you can't taste food anymore, and you are not able to smell properly, or you loss of smell or something like that. And then, or like some people call it a funny feeling, that you feel something strange, but you're not able to put it in a description or pinpoint what it is. Like you're feeling something is going and not going right inside you. Okay, so this is what they call an aura. Okay, next slide. So basically, types of migraine. Okay, so here there are 8 types of migraine given. So I'm going to first now go through the first 4 and then the next 4 in the next slide. So the first type we call migraine with an aura, right? Which means complicated migraine. Around 15% to 20% of people with migraine headaches experience an aura. So like what you mentioned earlier, an aura, right? So this is about 20%. So now, then the next one is migraine without an aura. That means a very common migraine. This type of migraine headache strikes without the warning of, the symptoms like I mentioned earlier. It may just happen to you. Things suddenly you feel, oh my God, you're not able to focus because the headache is too intense. So the symptoms are the same, but the face, like the face approach doesn't happen with the aura. Okay, that means it just hit you, boom. Then migraine without head pain. How to have migraine without head pain? Let me see. Slight migraine or they call encephalgic migraine, as this type is also known as, includes the aura symptom, but not the headache that typically forms. Okay, so that means you have all the symptoms, the aura, let's say tingling sensation, whatever, but you don't have a headache. Okay, so this is migraine without headache. Okay, and then the next one is called hemiplegic migraine. So you will have temporary paralysis. Okay, this one is quite severe. Huh? Part of your body is paralyzed, numb, and neurologically or sensory changes to one side of your body. Like some people, when they have the migraine hits, like one side brain, this side is like numb and they can't feel anything because the pain is so great. So the onset of the headache may be associated with temporary numbness, right? I've heard people that one side of the head is become numb totally, or extreme weakness on one side of the body. Like one side is totally not able to move or feel weak or not controllable. A tingling sensation, a loss of sensation, or dizziness, vision changes. So the dizziness comes and you just need to rest on the bed, or you feel like you need to vomit, you just feeling nauseatic, right? So sometimes it includes headache or head pain, and sometimes it doesn't. But you have all these symptoms, that means numbness, which makes you not able to, you need to have a bed rest for this kind of migraine because you can't function. Next slide. So the fifth type of migraine is called the retinal migraine, which is, you may notice temporary, partial, or complete loss of vision. That means the migraine is hitting your eye vision, the ability to see in one of your eyes, along with a dull ache behind the eye. That means the back of the eye is feeling certain pain and may spread to the rest of the head. This vision loss may last for a minute or as long as for months. You should always report a retinal migraine to a headache provider, healthcare provider, because it could be a sign of more serious issue. Okay, understand, when the vision is lost means something is blocking the ability to see. So this can be quite serious. So it could be also mean that certain rupture in the brain, certain tumor is growing there, something is happening in the brain, which caused the vision to be lost. So when that happened, you need to see more in-depth diagnosis to see what is causing the loss of the vision. Okay, so retinal migraine is quite serious. So now the sixth type of migraine is called chronic migraine. Okay, how chronic can it be? A chronic migraine is when migraine occurs at least 15 days per month. Oh my God, half a month you're unproductive. That means what? You're totally bedridden for 15 days. You only work for the other 15 days. Huh? So these symptoms may change frequently and also may be the severity of the pain. So those who get chronic migraines might be using headache, the pain medication more than 10 or 15 days a month, that unfortunately can lead to headaches that can that happen even more frequently. So the medication is not going to help, because can you imagine, like, half of the month you already is in pain, popping the pill is not going to help. Okay, so this is called chronic migraine. It means very very serious. Now then, migraine with brainstem aura. Okay, this is another interesting one. With this migraine, you will have vertigo, slurred speeches, double vision, and loss of balance, which occur before the headache. The headache pain may affect the back of your head, okay? And these symptoms may usually occur suddenly and can be associated with the inability to speak properly, ringing in the ears, or vomiting. Okay, so this is the migraine, which is related to the brainstem aura. So this is the 7 types of migraine. Now the 8 is called status migrainosus. Okay, let's investigate what it is. It is a rare and severe type of migraine. I thought the above already severe, but this sounds more severe. That can last longer than 72 hours. It means 72 hours you're in great pain. The headache, pain, and nausea can be extremely bad. Certainly, certain medications or medication withdrawal can cause you to have this type of migraine. So, like, it means this migraine can be caused by very strong medication, may be used to treat some other sickness, and it trigger this kind of migraine. Okay, I've seen people who are on cancer medication or they're in chemotherapy. This kind of migraine are quite common. Yes, because especially they just finished chemo. The first 1 week it's horrible, because they have to go through not only loss of appetite, vomiting, or headache, or body pain, all kinds of things will happen. Okay, because of the body's reaction to the toxin of the chemotherapy. So these are the 8 types of migraine that we learned today. Okay, any one of you can relate to any of the migraine you think you have? Huh? No? Anyone? Okay, blessing at least. Next slide. So now let's enter into the Shastra Pramana for Nithya Kriya. So it is taken from Yoga, Chindamani, Upanishad, verse 116. So he says, for him who is possessed of pranayama, there will be the destruction of all diseases. For those devoid of pranayama, there will be the generation of all diseases. Okay. Now understand, I want to put a right context also. Pranayama in the yoga pradipika, okay, it is only introduced when you have purified your body. So always start with asana, means yoga posture, because the yoga posture do a lot of tuning and strengthening and purification of the body itself, the gross body. Pranayama should be added only you have reached certain level of purification. Otherwise, the pranayama, the breathing, can actually give energy to some kind of what you call it? The negativity inside. So it's good to start doing pranayama only when your body is reached certain level of purification. Okay, next slide. So now these are the instructions to this Kriya, care for migraine. Only 4 steps. So the first step is the asana called the Grihara asana. Okay. Then the second step is Kumbha Raja. Third is Shiktali Kumbhaka, Shikari Pranayama. So these are the 4 steps. So let's do it together. First step. Grihara Asana. It's like, so Grihara Asana basically is taken from Matsyendra Samhita. Matsyendra is one of the enlightened yogi master. And so this is taken from verses 25 to 27. It says, be seated in Padmasana. So all of you, if you can sit in Padmasana, lotus poses, do it. Otherwise, do half. Put one leg on top of the hip, okay? One side. Do Ardha Padmasana. If you can't do full lotus, do half lotus. So place the elbow on the toes, okay? So you have to do it with the bending forward, okay? So you have to bend forward. Put the elbow on your toes, okay? Let the fingers be interlocked. It means interlace the fingers. Rest your chin on the knuckles of your fingers, and the thumb should be pressed on the throat. Okay? The thumb on the throat. Got it? Okay? So now all of you, please get into a position. I give the instruction once more. So be seated, first step, in the posture called Padmasana, which is lotus pose. If you can't sit in full lotus, sit at least in half lotus, okay? Then place the elbows on the toes, okay? Your two elbows, place it on the toes, press it, like pressing the toes, okay? Interlace the fingers, and then place the chin on the knuckles. See, when interlace, the knuckles are here. So your chin should be resting on the knuckles itself, and press the thumb. See, your thumb to be like that, and against the throat. Okay, so stick out the thumb and press it on the throat. Okay, and then when you finalize this position, settle in this posture for about 1 minute. Okay, so can you do it now? Settle these postures for 1 minute, and then we'll sit in this posture for at least 30 seconds. Okay, settle the posture now. No tongue.
Oh,
Thumb. Thumb.
throat is here.
Yeah. Okay. See the picture how the guy is pressing. Okay. So now let's settle in this posture now for about 1 minute. Can you all do it? And breathe, okay? Don't hold your breath. This is a posture you're going to assume throughout the whole Kriya. So get comfortable anyway. Yes. Please do it. Relax. Let's enter into the second step. All right, so the second step is called Kumbha Raja. So it's taken from Kumbhaka Padati, verse 134. The translation goes, one should forcefully inhale the air through the lungs till the lungs are full. Okay, inhale through the nose till the lungs are full, and retain the breath. Hold the breath. This is called Kumbha Raja. So here are the steps. The technique is inhale forcefully. Just, okay. Hold the breath to the maximum capacity by closing the nostril. So when you do this, you hold the breath, or hold the nostril, okay? Then when you can't hold anymore, you exhale through the nose, exhaling in a very soft, relaxed way. That means, okay, got it now? So do this step for 21 times. Let's do it now. Okay. Remember to inhale forcefully, like a sharp inhalation. So the second step is Kumbha Raja. So do this step for 21 times. When you exhale through the nostril, do it softly and in a relaxed way. Forceful inhalation, hold the breath to the maximum capacity. Close the both nostril where you could not hold anymore. Just exhale slowly and softly. Make sure you count mentally 21 rounds. So if you're done, you can just wait for the rest to finish and we will do the next step, the third step. If you're done while we're waiting for others, you just sit in Padmasana with the eyes closed. At least I know you're done. So I repeat, first step is inhale forcefully, retain the breath to the maximum capacity by closing the nostril with the two thumbs. Then when you can't hold any longer, exhale, open the thumb and let the air come up through the nostril. But do it in a very slow, soft, relaxed way. And then repeat all over for 21 times. Okay. One more. Okay. So, Shakti, we can go to the next slide first. I will explain the next slide. Third step, this one is straightforward. It's called Shittali Kumbhaka. Okay. So it's taken from Viranda Samhita, Upadesha 5, verse 73. So the translation goes, the breath has to be filled in the abdomen by drawing the air through the tongue. And after having retained the breath for a moment, the exhalation should be done through the nostril. So let me explain the technique again. So in this third step, the Shittali Kumbhaka, you basically inhale, you close your eyes, inhale, protrude the tongue. You have to fold the tongue into like a tube, okay? Those of you who cannot fold the tongue, you just put your mouth in the O shape, okay, like this. So if you can, fold the tongue, okay? So protrude the tongue as much as you can, then roll the side of the tongue like a tube. Now inhale through the tube of the formed by the tongue. You will feel the cooling sensation in the mouth while inhaling. This is a cooling pranayama, by the way. So after inhaling, you just close the mouth. Let me close the mouth, with the tongue inside. Then hold for a while, retain the kumbhaka for a while. Then when you feel that you're ready to exhale through the nostril. Okay? Do this 21 times. Okay? So same thing, same posture, but this time around, you just basically do the Shittali Kumbhaka. Okay. So do this 21 times. Shittali Kumbhaka. So the inhalation is through the tongue, the mouth, exhalation through the nostril, the reverse. Okay, so some for cooling pranayama is you are inhaling through the mouth. You feel this cooling sensation in the mouth when you do the shittali. For those of you who do not know how to control the tongue, so you have to stick out the tongue and fold the side. Try to retain the breath judicially, okay? That means after inhaling, when you feel that you fill the lungs with the inhalation, just hold for a moment, then you exhale through the nostril. Okay? You feel this cooling sensation in the mouth. When you're doing the pranayama, the shittali kumbhaka, make sure you do it in a relaxed way, no stress. Sorry, excuse me. So that you inhale very slowly and deeply and hold the breath, and then you exhale through the nostril, very relaxed and comfortable, no stress. Okay. Excuse me. This is relatively a very simple Nithya Kriya, so it can be practiced easily. Okay. How many more to go? All right. So maybe we go to the fourth step. I will describe first. Let Jairus finish, then we can do it together. Fourth step is another cooling pranayama. This time a shittali pranayama, taken from Hatha Yoga Pradipika, Upadesha 4, verse 43. So the translation goes, the breath needs to be sucked in through the mouth with a hissing sound, and the exhalation should be done through the nostril. By practicing this Kamadeva, the cupid becomes the second. Okay, so the steps include press the upper teeth and the lower teeth. Okay, let me press it together and open the lips comfortably like this. Okay, you're going to suck the air through the gaps of the teeth. Then close the mouth and exhale through the nostril. So make sure that after you inhale through the gaps of the teeth, just be aware of the sound produced when you're sucking the air. After that, close the mouth and release the air through the nose. Do this step also for 21 times. Same thing, please come into the posture, Vihara Asana. Mentally count So if you are done with the last step, the fourth step, just sit comfortably, either in Padmasana or Sukhasana. Just close your eyes for a little while. Just center yourself. Just allow the Kriya to settle into your body for the changes or healing to happen. Sit for a few minutes in an untouched space. Right, you can slowly open your eyes. So how was the Kriya? How do you feel after doing the Kriya? Huh? Good. For you? How do you feel? You do that.
I did a few good. Some of them I was working not enough to do. I never do pain or feel like
Oh,
the other down rolling up.
this one.
Yeah.
If you feel which part is pain? Oh, hey, you just sit comfortably, don't need to sit in the market. Just sit comfortably, like this now. So you can sit normal and do it.
After a while, I'm not used to sitting on the floor.
Your body, a lot of energy drop. You need to sit on the floor and need to train the body. So it's okay. You manage whatever you have to do. Okay? Don't need to be too hard on yourself. How do you feel? Okay.
I feel the floor somehow. Then
Hot, heat in the ear.
then heat.
Heat in the ears, yeah.
Then uncross the then keep changing color.
Lots of energy flow.
Keep changing color. That one is energy flow.
Yeah. Energy. What about the people on the Zoom? How do you feel about the Kriya? It's very simple Kriya. I think it's quite nice. You all enjoy the Kriya? Very relaxing. Huh? Anyone want to share? Or you want to type? First time I do this asana. Hridhara asana. So Rosita, I want to say something. You want to?
Yes, when doing the clears, many folks just come and goes. But after all the 4 steps when sit in silence. I saw myself became a Russian dogs. I saw a smaller me inside, and then later I become the middle layer, smaller me inside, and then a bigger me outside.
Yeah,
Very funny.
just like the different kosha, we have 5 layers, the different layers, right?
Yes,
The
I
pancha
become
kosha, yes.
the middle layer.
Wow, that's interesting experience. Anything else? Huh? You feel silence after that? Rest in that silence?
Yes.
Rest?
During the Kriya's process, not silence at all. Many thoughts
Yeah,
come.
because you had to do this, so it's not so comfortable, right?
But after the Kriyas, it became silence.
Yes, me too. After the Kriya, when I sat, I just entered into the samadhi. I just rest there. I was like, okay, quite nice. Only that time that is, I feel quite nice. Huh? Before that, you have to do this, and then it's not the most comfortable posture, to be honest.
The leg also numb.
In Padmasana, it's okay. Do whatever you can, or whatever you can manage. See, when you train the body slowly, you get better. Anyone else want to share? Anita, how do you feel?
That was very relaxing. Thank you. Towards the end, yes. In the
Yeah,
beginning,
I
it
think
was a bit
everyone
hard.
entered into that relaxing part towards the end, which is good. What about Anandyata? What do you feel?
In the meditation part, can see my nadi is stuck. I have the pocket in my nadi, and
Which nadi? Do you know which nadi?
can feel it's in the heart region, somewhere in the heart region.
Okay, there is a big nadi in the heart. Okay, there are 101 nadi converge on the heart. Okay, see, in the whole body are 72,000 nadis, but on the heart itself there are 101 nadis that merges in the heart. Okay, so to when you do certain processes, the heart, when it's open, explode, one of the nadi will pierce through the heart and go all the way to the next level. It means the next knot, which is the Rudra Granthi. Okay, so you can feel that this is blocked, right?
Yes, and also can see I now know how my body get the impurity from the food and from the water. Yeah.
How the body gets what?
Impurity.
Okay.
From the food and also from water.
Yes. Good.
Little detox.
Yeah. So I think after Chinese New Year, it's time to detox. Yeah, I think to undo the damages from all the Chinese New Year binging. You don't know what they put or what they add into all the tidbits and all that. So good. I'm so looking forward to the detox. Actually, the first thing came to my mind during the meditation is time to detox. I need to do a thorough detox from, all the eating. So it's time to get rid of all the thing that we ate during this period. Okay, so I think with that, I thank you all for coming to today's session. It's a relatively simple, straightforward prayer. And if you had any question, you can ask. Otherwise, we'll conclude with the Puna mantra. Okay, so anyone whom you know had the issue with migraine, introduce this Kriya to them. Let them practice to at least get better in terms of allowing the pranayama to help them to clear some of the blockages. And then when things improve, when the migraine become lesser and lesser, then they can be enriched for some other programs or processes where we bring them to a healthy yogic body. See, Kriya means healing, right? So which means some part of the body has already been imbalanced. So we need to not only heal, we need to rebalance the whole body. So Nithya Kriya is great for people who are already suffering from some disorder or diseases. So once that they get healed, then they can go into a more, I would say, deeper level of detoxification or cleansing, because in the first phase, they should know how they created the disease, okay? Because otherwise, they bring back again the same diseases, because the same mental setup is actually creating the problem, the disturbance of the mind. That's why I say most of the diseases are psychosomatic. So which means a disturbed mind projecting or manifesting in a disturbed body. Okay, so for a more thorough, detailed, healing, permanent healing, they need to address the disturbance of the mind, which that needs to come, when they go into understanding their SDHD, self-doubt, self-hatred, self-denial patterns, and what kind of belief system they have, wrong cognition they have that created those, attracted the diseases. So all this deeper level of healing, but at least for people who are suffering now, we need to give them immediate remedy. Nithya Kriya is, I would say, one of the immediate remedy they can start. It's just like how in the Western allopathy, right, they give you pop pill, right? But popping pill is not going to solve the problem in the long term, because you're just adding more toxin in the body, right? How can we keep taking Panadol for the rest of life? I can't imagine that. So the more permanent, healthy solution is to first balance whatever is disturbed in the body, then go into the mind, and then for a thorough, complete healing. Okay. So with that, let's finish off with the Purna mantra. Thank you all for joining. Sit with the back straight, join the palms together. We'll conclude the session now. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tatsat Saubham Bhagavat Shri Nithyananda Paramashivam Bharata Paramastu. Om Nithyanandam. Thank you, Nithyanandam. See you all next week. Let's start the live session. Can you start the live stream?